My sister knocked over my $3,000 wedding cake because I wouldn't buy her a condo for her 21st birthday. She just laughed and said, "Oops." My mom brushed it off with, "You know how she gets when she's upset." I didn't respond. That night, I canceled the lease I had co-signed for my sister and froze the $12,000 I had set aside to help her move. But the real surprise came the next morning, when she got the official notice. Our wedding wasn't flashy, just simple, elegant, and fully paid for. We wanted one special evening that felt peaceful and meaningful. I had saved carefully to make it happen. No one helped pay for it. We didn't ask for anything except the cake. It had 3 tiers, white and gold, delicate sugar details, and our names, Liam and Leah. It cost more than I planned, but it was the one luxury I allowed myself. After a hard year, I wanted something that felt like joy. My sister Kendra arrived late, as usual. Her hair was still wet, her heels too high for the grass. She didn't bring a gift or even say hello. She just walked into the reception, looking like she expected all the attention. As the staff rolled out the cake, she leaned on the table beside it to adjust her earring. Her elbow slipped, the cake toppled and crashed. Frosting everywhere, silence. Leah's dress got stained by the top layer of the cake. Kendra just laughed and said oops, like she'd dropped a napkin. No apology, no shock. My mom stood next to me with a drink and quietly said, "You know how she gets when she's disappointed." That was it. No blame, no apology. I just walked away. Later, in the bathroom, Leah and I tried to clean her dress. She asked softly, "Did she do that on purpose?" I didn't answer right away. Then I told her, "She asked me to buy her a condo for her birthday." Leah nodded. "And when you said no, she ruined the cake." I replied, "Not just the cake, the last piece of guilt I felt." That night, after everyone left, I sat alone and opened my laptop. The wedding guest list was still on the screen. So was the folder for Kendra's lease paperwork and moving fund, everything ready to go. But I wasn't angry, just clear. At 1:12 a.m., I removed my name from her lease and froze the account. Then I scheduled a message for 9:42 a.m., no words, just the official notice. This wasn't just about the cake or the condo, the problem was deeper. Kendra always wanted things without asking directly. She'd drop hints and let others pick up the pieces. Mom always made excuses like it's her birthday or she's going through a phase. She never begged, she just created pressure until someone gave in. When she was 16, she wanted a car. She never asked mom or dad. She showed me car brochures and sent pictures of cute used cars. She got the car. When she failed college classes, she didn't apologize. She asked me to help her write an appeal to keep her scholarship. I rewrote the whole thing. She got reinstated. No thank you. But later, she used the same letter format to ask my old employer for an internship. She didn't just take help, she treated it like something she deserved all along. By age 20, I had co-signed her lease, helped her avoid eviction, paid her dental bill, covered a pricey vacation to Tulum. Each time, Mom said, she just needs help getting started. It's been 5 years, she's still starting. A month before the wedding, she texted me about a condo. "There's this one I love. Mom said you might help with the down payment." She wanted $72,000, said she'd pay me back in a year or two, though she had no job or savings. Once, her bank app even sent a low balance alert, $3.14, while we were out for lunch. She laughed and said, "Oops, guess you're paying again." I didn't reply to the condo text. Later, she posted a TikTok showing the condo and wrote, "Manifesting this. Please ignore my broke brother who's blocking the blessing. LOL. That's when things shifted. Not because she insulted me, I was used to that, but because she made me the villain in her public story. 2 days later, I talked to Mom. She posted the condo thing. "It's not funny anymore," I said. Mom sighed. "Well, if you can help, it might make things easier." She felt left out. I reminded her, "I already co-signed your lease." She replied, "You didn't really help. I paid for the moving fund." She made it sound like it was all my choice, as if none of my help mattered unless it came with a smile and silence. That's how it always was. I learned young, when I was 13 and Kendra was 8. She cried because I wouldn't share my boogie board. I got grounded, not for being mean, but because she was younger, tired, and I shouldn't escalate. So I stopped fighting. I went quiet. Everyone mistook that for agreement. The cake wasn't just a cake, it was her final stunt. She didn't trip or slip, she ruined it on purpose because I wouldn't buy her a condo, and she knew there would be no consequences, just excuses and forgotten truths. But not this time. That night, I froze her moving fund and removed my name from her lease. It wasn't revenge. It was a clear, quiet no, a door I should have closed long ago. And I didn't even tell her. I waited because I knew once the 9:42 a.m. notice landed, they'd finally see that I wasn't going to be their fallback anymore. The message hit right on time. Ping, group chat, fam updates. Kindra. What is this? Leasing office says the cosigner is gone. Then. Did you cancel it? Are you serious? Mom chimed in. Sweetheart, I'm sure this is a mistake, can we all please talk? Then she called. Kindra's voice was loud, emotional, pretending to be hurt, but really just angry. I'm in the leasing office and they say the cosigner's gone, do you know what that means? Yes, I said calmly, I know exactly what it means. She paused. You did this on purpose. And you knocked over our wedding cake on purpose. Silence, she didn't deny it. That's not the same, she snapped. I was emotional. And I'm logical, I said, and I don't support people who cross boundaries. She laughed, it was just a cake, get over it, then hung up. No apology, no ownership, just more dismissal. By noon, my mom showed up at my apartment, no call, no warning, just, please, we need to talk. I let her in. She looked around like she didn't recognize the space. You really did it. She sat on the couch, holding her purse like it was a shield. You've always been the patient one, that's what made you special. It wasn't praise, it was control. That version of me doesn't exist anymore, I said. You can't abandon your sister, she said. I didn't, I just stopped funding her life. Her voice rose. She's 21, she's young. And I'm your son, I said clearly. I'm done being the one who gets silence for doing the right thing. She stood up, smoothed her blouse. Fine, I guess we all know where we stand. And left. But it wasn't over. That evening, my cousin Jordan called. Hey, I saw the thread, I'm proud of you. I was confused. Thread? He sent me a TikTok. Kindra had posted a story. When your brother sabotages your life because he's jealous of your glow-up. She fake cried, claiming I left her homeless and unsupported. She said I was the golden child who couldn't handle her shine. The comments were full of sympathy, but none of them knew the truth. She lived rent-free. I paid thousands. I asked for nothing. The only thing I stopped giving was silence. Still, I didn't respond publicly, no TikTok, no text. I just opened my Google Drive, a folder labeled receipts, screenshots, emails, bank transfers, lease agreements. Then I wrote one email. Subject, prior agreements. I am no longer financially or legally connected to Miss Kindra, last name. Please see attached for context if needed. Sent. No drama, just facts. And for the first time in years, I went to sleep peacefully. Because the one thing they never expected wasn't rage. It was clarity. By Friday, Kindra's TikTok had over 600,000 views. She posted 2 more videos. In one, she cried and said she'd been emotionally abused by me. In another, she stood in an empty apartment and said I pulled the rug out. No mention of the condo. No mention of the cake. No mention of the years of help. Just curated pain for likes. Still, I stayed quiet. Even when cousins sent passive messages like, staying out of it, but hope you're okay. My silence was growing heavier and more powerful. The final moment came on Sunday. Mom invited us to brunch. She called it a family reset. Leah didn't want to go. She already knew it wasn't a reset for us, it was a reset for them. To go back to how things were. Me staying quiet. Kindra getting a pass. Mom pretending to mediate. No accountability, just more pretending. But I went because I needed to see it for myself. I needed to know if anyone in my family still cared about truth or if it was all just pretending. The table was set like everything was fine. Flowers, pancakes, mimosas, Berries, like a perfect breakfast, could erase everything that had happened. Kendra sat at the end, wearing sunglasses inside. Mom smiled too hard, offering coffee like a hostess on a cruise ship. Dad said nothing, like always. No one mentioned the cake, the lease, the viral videos, or the email I sent to her landlord, which I'd heard through a cousin had already cost her the condo. Just small talk and fake peace. Then, halfway through, Mom sighed and said, "We've all made mistakes lately, but maybe it's time to forgive." The room froze. Leah squeezed my hand under the table, not asking me to stay quiet, just letting me choose. I set my fork down. "Okay, let's talk about mistakes." Silence. "Let's talk about destroying someone's wedding cake on purpose." Kendra rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, you're still on that? You asked me to buy you a condo. I said no, then you ruined our wedding. That wasn't clumsy, it was deliberate." Mom jumped in. She was upset. So was I, but I didn't go online and make up abuse for attention. Dad shifted. "This isn't the time." "It's exactly the time," I said. "Because this is where the real damage happens, in pretending everything's fine without anyone being held accountable." Kendra stood. "You've always hated me." "No," I said. "I protected you, I supported you, and you used that against me." Her hands shook, not from guilt, but from not getting her way. "You made choices." "No," I said. "I just stopped funding them." Leah and I left without finishing our food. And no one followed us out, not Mom, not Dad, not Kendra. That told me everything I needed to know. On the drive home, windows down, Leah said quietly, "You didn't have to go, but I'm glad you did. I needed to see it one last time, to be sure." "Are you sure?" I looked at her, steady and calm beside me. "Yes, I'm sure." A week later, we moved. A quiet house just outside the city. No noise, no guilt, no drama. I didn't tell anyone our new address. I didn't message the family chat. I just let the silence speak for me. Then something unexpected happened. While cleaning, I found an old folder, letters from Kendra, back when we were kids. Notes like, "Thanks for picking me up. Don't tell Mom I failed. You're the best brother." I sat on the floor and read them under the lamp. And for the first time, I let myself grieve, not for the cake, or the condo, but for the sister I used to know. The one who, once, saw me as family. I cried, quietly, fully. Then I shredded the letters and took out the trash. Some things aren't meant to be carried forever. The message I sent her landlord wasn't revenge, it was closure, a simple formality. But apparently, truth stings more than anger. At 9:42 a.m., Kendra called. I didn't answer. Then Mom, then Dad, then Kendra again. Finally, a message. "We need to talk. This isn't you, this is her." Her meaning Leah. That's when I realized, they weren't sorry. They were just blaming someone new. If I wouldn't break, they'd blame the woman closest to me. Typical. I didn't reply, not yet. Instead, I stepped outside to the backyard, coffee in hand. Leah was laughing on the phone inside, probably her sister. It was peaceful, ordinary, real. And in that moment, I felt something. Not peace exactly, but the space where peace could finally grow. At noon, I sent one message to Mom. "This isn't about Leah, it never was. You and Kendra made choices. I made one too. I'm done being loved only when I'm useful. Please don't contact Leah again. If you want to talk, come as yourself, not as her defense lawyer." She didn't reply that day. 3 days later, she showed up. Leah saw her first. I was fixing a fence post, covered in dirt. No prep, no masks, just real life. Mom stepped out of her car holding a white bakery box. Inside, a cake. 3 tiers, white frosting, sugar roses. Not our wedding cake, but it was an attempt. I didn't know what else to do, she said. I thought maybe. I cut her off. "Why did you take her side?" She looked away. "I didn't. I just didn't want to lose both of you." "So you picked the one who screamed louder." She looked at the cake. "She was always fragile. You were strong." That word again. Strong meaning silent. Capable. Disposable. Being strong doesn't mean I don't hurt, I said. It just means you expected me to carry it all quietly. She flinched. I'm sorry. I know, but sorry isn't always enough. She paused, then asked, is there a way back? It was the first real question she'd asked in years. I looked at the cake, at the cracked roses, at the woman who raised me but forgot I was human too. Not right now, I said, maybe not ever. She nodded, didn't argue, didn't cry. Just walked away. No guilt trips, no last words, just the door closing, softly this time. That night, I threw the cake away. Not in anger, in peace. Some things don't need to rot slowly in the fridge. Some endings deserve a clean break. Later, in bed, Leo whispered, you okay? I thought about it. All the versions of me I'd been for them, the helper, the fixer, the forgotten. And I finally said, I think I might be. She leaned in. You didn't just leave them, you found you. And in the quiet, I smiled. Because it was true. And whatever came next, I knew one thing for sure. I'd never lose myself again just to make someone else feel whole.